said, the killer is none other than... Twisted Foxy, the ultimate mechanic!
Wait, what?
I kind of don't understand it, Yoshi. Care to explain?
Sure. I understand that we were all having such a good time, enjoying ourselves, and not really doing anything that much. But here's where it really got me. Since Monokuma said that this room wasn't always a trial room, it concurs to me that when one of our fellow classmates, students, or whatever, went to go and get the chips, that's not all he was doing. Twisted Foxy, I know you're the murderer behind this, and I know what you were doing, and I know how you could have caused this.
Are you really sure that Twisted Foxy killed my brother? One of the nicest people here?
As much as I'd like not to believe it, I know he's the killer.
Ooh, looks like things are getting a bit spicy.
Yes, they really are. Is Twisted Foxy really the killer of this case?
Who knows?
No! Huh? What's that? Yoshi, as much as I'd like to believe you, I can't find out why Twisted Foxy would be the culprit.
Actually agree with Chica. She might be right on this one. How could Twisted Foxy be the culprit?
Guys, I kind of think Yoshi is telling the truth.
I think Yoshi is lying.
I think he's telling the truth.
He protected me through this, so I think he's telling the truth as well.
I think Yoshi's telling the truth.
I'm sorry to say it, but I think he's lying. I mean, how could Twisted Foxy, one of the nicest people, my homie, my druggy boy, be one of the culprit?
Guys, you have to trust me on this. Twisted Foxy is the killer. I kind of trust you, Yoshi, but I'm not really sure.
Twisted Foxy is not the killer. Now everything makes sense. He gave us those cheeses. Why would a killer give us cheeses?
I'm sorry. I think Yoshi is telling the truth.
Yoshi's a freaking liar. I'm not the killer. Yoshi, I can't believe you just yet. You have to give me evidence on why.
I think Yoshi's lying.
I trust Yoshi.
Guys, Yoshi is clearly lying. Twisted Foxy would not do that. He's a nice person, and he helped up with this entire crime scene and everything else.
Yeah. As much as I don't want to agree with you, Junior, I think so as well.
No, guys, we can't just blame this on Yoshi. He would never do this.
Are you sure about that? Yeah. Yoshi would never do this. He's the kindest person.
Exactly. Twisted Foxy, I know you're the killer.
No, he's not. Yes, he is. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. No, I'm not the killer. Yes, you are. No, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Thrills, chills, kills. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yes, the thrills, the chills, the kills of today's beautiful
Scrum debate. Everyone, head to the left side if you think Twisted Foxy is the killer.
And everyone, head to the right side if you think Twisted Foxy is not the killer.
No evidence points to Twisted Foxy as the killer.
H. Well, you have to remember that he did leave the party multiple times, so he could have easily been doing something at the time. And while he still could have gotten the chips, he could have taken his note with him.
Doesn't make any sense. Why would Twisted Foxy do this?
Eddie. Well, you have to remember that these secrets could have been taken anywhere and anything. It shows that the proof that the killer easily put my name on there with a pencil to try to frame me. But what if it was their note the entire time?
Twisted Foxy left multiple times because of different reasons, and he ended up coming back with truthful statement. Boomerang, bro.
But in the time, he could have done all of that at the exact same time. See, he could have easily went back into the room, trying to take down the different things and move Lemmy's body, and been able to get the screwdriver at the exact time.
Twisted Foxy is a nice person. He provided with us Cheez-Its and stuff. And they had no laxatives in them.
Dude, well, you have to remember that laxatives were in the sriracha peanuts, or cashews or whatever, and he could have easily put them in there and grabbed the chips to frame me.
How could I be able to frame Toad in that time, as everybody was in that placement, except for the few people that you said?
I got this. You could have easily instigated that plan during Bonnie's guitar solo. Since the lights were dim and barely anybody could see, only Bonnie's place was actually lit up, which means you could have easily sneaked in, and as well with everybody else, you don't have an alibi.
But I checked Twisted Foxy's room and there was nothing in there.
That guy.
He didn't have to go back to his room for the plan. He could have been able to sabotage this at the get-go, and could have easily gotten his thing from this room, since this room was actually open and it wasn't a trial at the time.
See guys, it only matches to Twisted Foxy as the killer. Nobody else can be it. There's no way, nothing possible. As much as I hate to admit it, it's true.
Twisted Foxy, is this true? Did you really kill my brother?
No, I didn't. Yoshi's saying false statements at you.
Dude, you look like you're losing it.
No, I'm not. I'm just angry at this.
Well, Yoshi, that's about it for now.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Let's just say that you're nearing on the final straw of who the killer could be. So, we will do one last minigame. Okay, Yoshi, how this minigame works is I will go over the events of the entire case. Then you will point out what is true and what is false. You will go over the case and tell me if my statements are correct or not, and show what happens throughout Welcome the Monokuma Says. Woohoo!
Okay, let's begin this.
Very well then. Lemmy issued out a party. Then I said that the motive was secrets that the characters didn't know. Everybody was enjoying their time, but someone went to get the chips. However, they didn't put the laxatives in there. So, if they didn't put the laxatives in, then how could Twisted Foxy be part as the killer?
There's an easy fix to that. Twisted Foxy at the time was probably looking at his motive, and he went to go get back the chips, and then he had a plan to hit this entire thing.
Okay, you're correct about that. Then, Freddy had to use the restroom. Couldn't he have been doing something suspicious as his time in there was long?
It's not on purpose that Freddy was there, as his stomach was just hurting, but he gave us the great alibi that ended up solving this case.
Ugh, man, almost knocked the tooth out. Okay, to the final part, Lemmy also had to use the restroom after he ate the sriracha cashews. Then following came Komazan and Toad. However, as soon as Toad and Komazan gave there, the door was locked. So could that have been part of the mechanism? Since he had died by that? Isn't that right?
No, the killer was still in there at the time. As soon as Lemmy opened it, the killer was still in there, which means he could have easily caused that. And the person who was not in there was none other than Twisted Foxy!
Oh!
Well, there you go, Monokuma. I've won your game.
Oh, poo-hoo-hoo. Good job, Yoshi. Now, reveal the evidence.
It's over, Twisted Foxy. Admit that you're the killer. Twisted Foxy, you okay?
Never!
It's what?
I am not the killer. None of the evidence proves to me. I may have left, but I wouldn't kill Lemmy. I helped all of you. We were all friends. We all tried to help each other through this killing game.
Whoa, what is going on, Twisted Foxy?
I'm not the killer.
I'm not the killer. None of the evidence proves to me. I would never have done that. I am not the killer! Nothing makes sense. I can't be the killer. Where's your proof? Where is your proof? I was friends with you on this first day. I wouldn't kill Lemmy. I'm a good person. No evidence points to me. No evidence points to me. Yoshi still had the knife. He could have used it against Lemmy. It said he died from blunt force head trauma. Yoshi could have used that knife to cut the rope. There's no reason I would kill Lemmy. How would I even get Lemmy's ball? Give me proof, I tell you. Give me proof. No evidence makes sense. You're lying. All of you are lying. I helped you. Why would I help you if I was the killer? Just makes sense already. Makes sense. I'm not the killer. I'm not the killer. I'm not the killer. I'm not the killer. I am not the killer. Come on. Is there any better you got? Any more evidence? Other people were gone, and I wasn't gone that long.
If I'm the killer, where would I find the rope that was used to kill Lemmy?
No, no, no. I know it.
I believe that there was a garage right by the room that you were in reading your motive. So, that is exactly where you went and got the rope.
Well then, it looks like you saw the murder. I don't know why you would do that. Shut up, I don't want to talk to you.
So, Yoshi, is that it?
Actually, no, he has to go over the case, and then that'll be the end of the class trial.
Okay, well, Yoshi, can you go over the case?
Yeah, I want to see how this motherfucker reacts. Gladly. This is the truth of the case.
This case probably started when everyone was waiting for the motive. Monokuma ended up introducing it and saying it was secrets that we didn't know. Everybody didn't care about theirs, but the culprit did. Meanwhile, Lemmy was fed up with this and had an idea to host a party. Ludwig congratulated on this idea, and that's when this had happened.
After setting up the party, everyone was enjoying themselves, even the culprit, as he was playing Jenga with Toad, or they were building a fort. Bowser Jr. and Boomerang Bro, after a while, wanted snacks, since they were drinking so much.
This was the perfect time for the culprit to get an alibi, to get the chips, and end up going to the next room. Meanwhile, I was distracted and didn't see the culprit going to the next room, as I was talking to Lemmy. And then, finally, as the culprit was nearing to the room where we would eventually be for the trial, this was actually not a trial room, so it was perfectly fine to go in, and the culprit ended up entering before we knew what would happen. The culprit had finally made his way through as he finished opening up the door. And then, as he closed it back, he read his motive. I'm not really sure what his motive was, but it destined him to kill. Anyways, he ended up getting the Cheez-Its after that, and he gave them to Bowser Jr. and Boomerang Bro. And then, he ended up leaving back to secure his alibi, and continue playing Jenga or building a fort with Toad. After that, Freddy had to go to the restroom. There was no alibi for it and we don't know what happened, but his stomach probably just hurt. So he went to the restroom after that. And then after a while, Drybones was just alone, actually. Not really can say anything much about him, because Drybones had seen Freddy go, and Freddy ended up going to the restroom. Again, I would assume he was just using the restroom, as there was nothing suspicious in the restroom. Bonnie had the bright idea to be able to make a solo for his guitar. Anyways, Lemmy was interested in this. Not just Lemmy, but Chica and Shy Guy, and everyone actually. But there were a few people that didn't go to this. Some of them would be Robanian and Ludwig, since they did leave early, and the culprit himself. A few others too, but that's not what we're gonna mention.
Most of the people ended up going there. However, again, there were some still left out. The culprit ended up poisoning or laxativing, since there were laxatives, the sriracha cashews, and then grabbed Lemmy's ball, and then ran over to the bathroom, where he decided to set up the trap. The culprit grabbed the basketball, and he also had the rope from the garage right by that trial room. He finally grabbed those things and went and hid. Toad decided that they should need something to eat, since it was a great solo. So Toad decided to go get a snack, and he ended up getting the sriracha cashews, which if he never did, this probably never would have happened. Toad ended up giving the sriracha cashews, and him, Comazon, and Lemmy had eaten them. Lemmy had some stomach problems after that, as at first he didn't know that there were laxatives in them, so he decided to use the restroom. After he finally got into the restroom, the culprit thought it was his time to strike. Lemmy went into the restroom, and the culprit was ready with his ball. All he had to do is, since the ball was tied, he threw down the rope, and the ball crushed on Lemmy's head, killing him instantly. As Freddy was still on the restroom, he probably heard the noises, so that's Freddy's alibi of getting out. As soon as he opened that door, he saw Lemmy's body there in cold blood, and a ball and a rope. The culprit ended up grabbing it back up before Freddy could see, and then the fateful thing happened. I would assume that the basketball ended up hitting Freddy's stomach, as his head had been really injured, but probably because of the full force, and that's why he couldn't have caused it himself. Meanwhile, Comazon had heard the sound from the other room, so he decided to go quickly. The culprit ended up locking the door because he couldn't be seen. Then, all the culprit had to do was get back into the vents and go back into the garage. Comazon and Toad were waiting since the door would not open. Me and Boomerang Bro went to go see what was happening and all the commotion, and we ended up seeing that something was wrong. The culprit ended up coming with us after I yelled out his name. So the culprit ended up coming, and he had to leave since he had to get a screwdriver, which was the perfect time to be able to move Lemmy's body, as he had just hit Freddy on the head and not moved Lemmy's body. Culprit went back, and he went to the room right by the trial room, which I would assume is the garage. He came back from the vent and ended up moving Lemmy's body. But while the culprit was moving the body, he had ended up leaving a blood pattern, leading to more evidence. This blood pattern had been able to cause something. Anyways, the culprit ended up moving Lemmy over to the bedroom, and he grabbed the basketball and rope to make it look like the crime had happened behind the bed. Anyways, after that was done, and he had all that placed, he ended up going back into the vent. In the immediate time, Bonnie ended up coming back, leading an evidence to where Bonnie could be the culprit. However, the culprit quickly came back after that with the screwdriver. He probably still had it from the garage with him. Anyways, he ended up trying to open the door, but he couldn't. So, Boomerang Bro helped him out, and he broke open the door, and this is what happened. I had made a loud screen, which ended up getting Chica over here, and then she discovered Freddy's cold, dead body, is what we thought at first as we all huddled around. But then meanwhile we found out that Freddy wasn't really dead, although very, very injured. Chica ended up taking him to the infirmary, as Boomerang Bro's rules were. Anyways, we decided that we were going to investigate who did this to Freddy, and to find out what had happened, until Bonnie had discovered a terrible, terrifying truth. As soon as the body discovery announcement had played, the culprit had thought he'd finally gotten away with this. But there was one thing he missed.
And the one who wanted to get out of here. The one who caused us so much despair and killed poor Lemmy in this party. Isn't it? Isn't it? Twisted Foxy, the ultimate mechanic. You're the killer behind this entire case.
So, do you refuse to believe it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Monokuma.
Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. What is it? Is it voting time already?
Yeah, it's voting time, and we know exactly who we're voting for.
Well, boo-hoo-hoo, let's begin.
Oh, wait, stop!
Oh, boo-hoo-hoo, the votes are in. And you were correct. Good job, Barnaby.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The person who killed Lemmy, the ultimate clown, was Twisted Foxy, the ultimate mechanic.
Twisted Foxy, why would you do this? You were our friend.
Alright. You want to know the real reason why I did it? Of course I do! You killed my brother! Just listen up. Monokuma,
Oh, yeah, what's up?
if I may, can I please read my secret?
Oh, yeah, sure.
My secret was that I had two people of my family, Twisted Chica and Twisted Freddy. I seriously didn't know what these secrets were gonna be. I seriously thought they were just gonna be little, like, embarrassing stuff, like, oh, one time someone peed their pants or pulled a prank and got their friend hurt, something like that. But mine was big. See, what my secret said was that Twisted Freddy and Twisted Chica previously played in the last killing game Monokuma hosted, and they ended up dying. So, I wanted to avenge their lives.
Really? Is that why you did this?
Yes, I wanted to avenge them. And I hated myself for it happened. To say the truth, I really didn't want to kill Lemmy. I didn't want to kill any of you. I really liked you all. I really did. But I had no choice. I had to avenge them. So I came with that entire plan. And it looks like Lemmy was the first one. And yeah, that's about it. Then I had to knock out Freddy since he saw. And yeah, I think that's it. You killed my brother because of that? Ludwig, I understand what I've done wrong. And I deserve to die for it.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Well, everyone, I'll see you all later. Twisted Bonnie, please don't let me down if you ever get in one of these. Same with you, Twisted Wolf.
What are you talking about?
Other family members. You know you did a terrible thing, man. I understand. I hope you can repay me. I hope you can forgive me. When the life goes on. I'll try. I think that's all I really want to say, guys. Well, Monokuma, go ahead and get my execution ready.
All right, everyone, let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time! Woo-hoo!